There are 21 mistakes that you are making right now as a Fortnite player that are stopping you from winning every fight in tournaments and your ranked matches. So make sure to watch the entirety of this video so you can finally figure out these mistakes and stop doing them. The first mistake that people make is not free building. Free building helps you warm up when you just get on. It helps you master building. You know, people, I think over time, yeah, we see the fancy edits like the montages and stuff, but people forget in tournaments and just being as good as a Fortnite player you can be, how important just the simple building is. Look, I'm not even going to edit, but just getting good at building is actually, I'm messing up here one sec. Getting good at building is actually really, really important, and all you have to do to get better at that is free build. You know, try out different types of methods, side jumping here. You know, I'm doing 0 edits just to prove that you don't actually have to do the fancy edits. Oh, I just did it there. But I hope you know what I mean. Free building helps you warm up, it helps you get better at building, which allows you to pull off plays like this. You know, over time, you keep practicing your free building, you will get much quicker at doing stuff like this. And this, yeah, it's fancy, but being able to actually do fast things like that might help you in a bit of a pickle when you need to, when someone full box you and you quickly need to get out and base up and stuff like that. So free building, you will not be pro at Fortnite or get good enough if you do not free build. Every pro player does it. Everyone who's decent at Fortnite does it. Do free building. The next mistake that people make is, yeah, I just told you that free building can help you improve your mechanics and get way faster. Sometimes you need to slow down, right? A mistake that players make is, you know, somebody, let's say, some fella, he's on your wall, he's pressuring like this. Some people try to go too fast. They don't think player has an easy shot on them. Not only that, sometimes they overcomplicate it. They try and go for the clip, and then they're not even on the right weapon here like this, or they're exposed again. Players expecting. Sometimes you have to think and slow down your play. Man, person's pressuring your wall, quickly make some space, he destroys it, boom, you get the right hand peek. You know, sometimes it's not about the most mechanical play, it's about your angles, and it's about just thinking, using your brain. So I know you can think of some smart plays. Right hand peek again, do a bit of pressure down here, you do it for the side jump, bang, you hit them. It's about playing slower. Yes, you can do your fast mechanics, but sometimes you just have to slow it down and think, and that will allow you to win way more fights than you actually will realize. Slow it down, keep it simple, hit your shots, and you will win way more fights. So I am pressuring this wall. There's something about this box that is really good, that, let's say if a player was in there, that's really good that he did. What is it? It's this, the pyramid. If this pyramid wasn't there, I can easily phase a stair in there, edit it, you know, he's under pressure there, he's no control. I'm able to kill him way easier. But because there's a pyramid there, I take the wall, I'm just gonna edit this even though he edits it there, I don't get a shot off. Yeah, I can spray it and do that. But if the player's quick enough, they can simply do this, jump out, and, you know, be in a safe position. But what can you do to do this all the time? It's muscle memory, so you don't even have to think about it. You should practice making a box, boom, pyramid, and like try and like change up the kind of scenario. You know, like you're going out like this, pyramid, you go up to new box, you make sure there's a pyramid, or you're just rotating. See someone practice putting a pyramid. Just keep practicing putting a pyramid every time you make a new box. Yeah, it's one extra build, but it's one extra build that is worth it. It saves you so many more times. It stops the player putting in their pyramid, putting in their stairs. It stops them from getting control in your box. Another issue is if you don't have it, the pyramid. Let's say you're in a box like this. Player gets the wall, puts a pyramid. Now, look what happens. You can't edit down. You're stuck there. You have to go out one of these. The player has a good angle on you. They have a lot better chance of killing you compared to, let's just say, if you're on pyramid, I edit this, I'm a player, I get the wall, I'm about to shoot you. All you have to do is boom, and you're already out of sight. Make another box with a pyramid, and you're safe. So the third mistake is players not using pyramids in their boxes, and get the muscle memory down so you don't have to think about it. The next mistake that players do is one, like, I still do this mistake, even though I know it's not the right thing to do. But sometimes I guess you get, get too confident and you think you're so good that, oh, this player's not going to catch me out for when I do this mistake. But no, that's the wrong way to think. You shouldn't do this mistake ever. And the more you get out of your head, the more fights you realize you win. So what's the mistake? The pickaxe. I pressure this guy's wall, pickaxe it. What you all know what I shouldn't do here? Just pickaxe it a second time. But it's very predictable. Players see the pickaxe it. Let's say I do pickaxe it. They can either pre-fire or they can edit. I swing, I hit nothing. I have delay to take out my shotgun. Boom, they hit me, they reset, or they just commit and just go for the kill. Double pickaxing leaves you in a very bad position. Instead, okay, so you shouldn't double pickaxe, but what can you do instead of it? Use your weapons. Using your own guns is so much better than using pickaxe. Yeah, you can pressure like this, fake it out. You still shouldn't be against using a pickaxe, especially to save your ammo. So then let's say you want to jump in the box and you have bullets in your SMG, but you shouldn't be, I think maybe, honestly, it should be like 50-50 or 30-70 of pickaxe to using your weapons ratio. It really should be like that. Pickaxe should not be used more often. Obviously, you'll be using it for different types of things, like say replacing walls or harvesting materials. But when you're about a box fight player, you're using your weapons, because what's so good about it is you can play range. You're pressing this wall here, get the wall, edit it. But not only you can do that, you're shooting it, a bullet goes through, it'll hit the opponent. So let's say the opponent is there. When you're shooting, you should be actually aiming towards him so you can hit the builds through. That's just a little extra tip I have for you. That's what happens when you're subscribed to my channel. But the reason why it's so good is that you can pressure, you can shoot through, keep your distance, and also sometimes it can just be quicker. Now here, is that quicker? Let me check. I'll try and time this in my head. It's not fully built, let's go to a fully built one. So it's fairly quick compared to, yeah, it's actually quicker to use the bursts. So that's another reason why you should do it. All in all, just practice it and you'll see why using a weapon is so much better than using a pickaxe, and you'll win way more fights. Next mistake is players underestimate windows. Windows are so overpowered. I'm going to show you a few type of builds here that you can do when you're fighting that allow you to dominate your opponents with simply just windows. Reason why it's so powerful, easy to do, they're actually quick to do. It's not just because they're simple, but they're quicker. So instead of doing big old fancy edit play, you can simply just do window and you already can get some shots off. So let's say some scenarios, you're ramping off your opponent. I'm going to just build this scenario. Let's say this, you're about to ramp off your opponent. You can simply do window, pyramid, get the shot off. You can go swing around the right, window. Usually the middle window is the best one to do, it just gives you more sights and a better angle. But yeah, windows are so overpowered to do. Another one you can do is you're here, window, sorry, window, take some practice. Window, I don't even use windows enough as I should, but I'm just telling you this because I know it's the right thing to do. Cone them off, window there, boom, cone them off, get the high ground. Now you should be careful, people can also shoot through the windows at you. But yeah, windows are so underrated. I think more and more they might be getting mentioned, but pros are definitely secretly using windows way more than people think, and it's helping them win way more fights. So do not underestimate windows. Really, really overpowered, simple, quick and thing to use to win your fights. This is the next mistake. This one is simple to explain, and once you stop doing this, you will start winning way more fights, just like all these other mistakes. So it's just like I'm pressuring the wall. let's say I was just in a fight and I'm low on bullets, so fighting a guy, let's say he's in this box over here. Yeah, that's it. I get a shot off, and then I look to jump in. I jump in, and there's no bullets in my gun. Now I'm gonna create a map so it reloads my things straight away. But let's say there's no bullets in my gun. He hits me, and I die. Reload management is something a lot of players don't get right, and it stops them from playing as aggressive as they could to win way more fights. It stops them from winning more 50-50s or kind of just the aim battles when you jump in someone's box, and it gets them eliminated way more. To improve your reload management, you should practice just staring. If you just stare at it, practice just looking at the bottom right, seeing what your ammo is, and it kind of would make you more mindful of it. But not only that, when you're fighting, if you practice kind of like, if you practice moments of realization of when to reload. So what I mean by that is, let's say there's a guy in a box here, and I'm fighting, yeah. I'm looking for pressure, you know, take the wads and stuff, spraying. He's holding them. When you're rotating, let's say I'm about to go over here, press down here, and go over there and pressure. I could get one reload off, and then have one more bullet in my gun when I'm here to fight. Now that's the perfect scenario. More better scenarios are, you know, you just take a breather when you're box fighting, get your reloads off, and then you go back to pressuring. It does slow you down, but then it allows you to be really aggressive again and continue to fight. There's more specific videos on how to perfect reload management. I'd recommend watching them, but just realizing that your reload management might be poor and stopping you from being as good is important. The next mistake, which is one you definitely haven't heard of from YouTubers as much, is not making space correctly. So now a lot of you might be doing this well, but here's how I know how to do it better. And if you don't, you might not be doing it well. Here's how to do it. So let's say you get sprayed. The usual thing that, well, a lot of players, what they do is they make a simple 2x2, which is fine, but these days with Fortnite, you need to be doing better than this. The problem with this is you only have a certain amount of options, and because it's such a small box, like it's at the end of the day, it is quite close to each other. Player drops down here, press you here, he can shoot you here, he can shoot you here if you edit it. He drops down over here. There's only one angle he has to pressure. Again here, he still has good angles on him. But if you make a 2x2 like this, if you quickly learn how to make this type of box, look at the difference. Look at all the different type of angles now that you can pressure from, and he has to shoot from here. I know it still is the two boxes, but now there's two boxes here. He has to kind of keep an eye on all this. Say he's here, he's trying to focus on this one. All you have to do is quickly get out here, bang, get a shot off. Now, I'm not saying that is the best play to always do. Maybe that can be predictable, but you see what I mean. There's a lot more plays you can go for. You can actually go out these cones, get a more of a cheeky shot off. He's here. Go out these cones, get a shot off. It gives you a lot more plays to make. Makes it harder for the opponent to fight. More things to be looking at. More things to pressure. He goes through here. Let's say, look, he gets this wall. He jumps in. All you have to do is be here on the right hand peak, get an easy shot off, and then you can make your 2x2 again, make more space, and just keep playing with it. Yes, you use more mats, but this will guarantee you to live a lot more in your fights, and it'll actually guarantee you more wins, more kills. Some players are getting patient and they'll just try and jump in, or they won't know how to fight it, but they won't know just to rotate away, and instead they'll try and force the fight. You'll know how to use it to your advantage, and you will win. So make sure to practice making this 2x2 as quick as you can, and knowing some strategies to win the fights out of it. So like playing the right peak here, the player jumps in, you get the shot, you reset it, then you go back again, he jumps in again, get the right peak, you make your 2x2 because you've learned how to practice it, window edit, shoot like that. Using this 2x2 will help you win way more fights. And now when someone uses it against you, how do you pressure it? Well, to be honest, it is hard. The reason why it's so powerful is it is hard to pressure the 2x2. But what you have to do is just be patient, leave them make the mistake. If they're being patient, well then, to be honest, if you're equal skill level, he's not a complete noob that just made a 2x2, you should probably just rotate away. Because if one of you aren't trying to be aggressive and like really get a kill, and the person with the 2x2 just gonna stay in their box, if you're both decent, the fight's gonna take a long time, and you're better off just rotating on someone else and trying to get some AR beams and get the fight going. Now, speaking about getting the fight going and some AR beams, that actually links with the next thing to learn, and that is being sneaky and getting AR beams. Yeah, it's not fancy, but most of the pros actually do that to get a lot of their kills. They either, just the way they're rotating, they spot an opponent, they crouch down, they use builds, they wait a few seconds until the right one, beam their opponent, then they play aggressive and they keep the pressure on, they keep spraying them, they get the kill. I can't do this head. And that all came from just a simple AR beam. So not having an ego and knowing when to play sneaky, wait for the opponent to come to you and get the AR beams yourself, then pressure once you get that laser, is how you can start winning way more fights. Starting a fight from zero advantage, from you just see them and start fox fighting them, it's fine, but it's going to make you get killed way more often compared to trying to get that AR beam and playing with that advantage. Okay, so keeping in mind, try to be sneaky, try to get the AR beam, if you were to do it, try to be in sync and shoot at the same time. Try to be in sync and shoot at the same time, because once you get that laser off and play aggressive and smart off of it, you will start seeing yourself getting way more eliminations. Because this video is taking longer than I actually was expected, as in the advice I'm giving is going on for longer than I expected, and I don't want this to be way too crazy long of a video. I want to quickly give you some quick fire tips to speed it up. So what are some quick fire tips? Well, 1v1ing. Now I know there is an opponent here, but just to make it simpler and save time, I'm not going to go find an opponent. I'm going to keep it all on this map so you can learn it simpler. It's quicker and easier for you to learn. Alright, so yeah, 1v1ing opponents, especially in like the realistic type maps, can really help you practice. What I would recommend is not trying to be too fancy for mechanics. Instead, when you're in them, just practice always getting them right. Don't try to be too quick. Keep it simple, slow it down. And when you're practicing in these realistic maps, doing that, being slower, will allow you to play like that in real games. Because if you try to be too fast, maybe you can pull it off. But when you go into an actual game, your ping, the delay will be more. So you might not actually be able to pull it off, or you might, but it might be slower and you might be actually damaging your fights because of it. Because let's say in creative, you can do it at 2 times the speed you can in a ranked game. Well, then that 2 times speed might slow you down just enough where even though you pull it off, it gives your opponent time to predict it and shoot you. That's why I'd recommend in your realistic 1v1 maps, really good to practice and get way better, but you should slow it down and make sure you always get the edits right. That's the whole point of practicing it. Consistency, then you can pull it off in real game and win way more fights. Alright, that tip actually took longer than expected, but I do think it's a really important tip, and if you follow it, you get way better. But here's some quick fire tips. 1, practicing your aim is helpful, but I think maybe it's a mistake to over practice it. I don't know, some people do. I don't think many people practice their aim, but especially for controller players, we already have the aim assist. But I think you actually practice your aim a lot better by simply just playing the game. And not only do you practice your aim, you learn from mistakes. So I don't know what your routine's looking like now, but you shouldn't worry too much if you're not practicing aim. Once you're practicing real fights against other opponents and not missing all your shots, I think you'll be fine if you focus more on that. Next thing, piece control. Yes, this is very important to learn, and what I recommend again is to play it slow. Don't go try don't try and go too quick. English is my first language. I was about to say it isn't. I'm just stupid. But anyway, yeah. Don't go try too quick. Make sure you get the edits right and you're aware of your peaks. And yeah, these maps are great to get better. Practice piece control, definitely way more important than aim, because aim will come from practicing the 1v1 maps and just playing ranked. Edit. Yeah, editing is useful to practice, but really what I'd recommend is to practice your editing when you're free building. So I wouldn't worry too much about these maps. Yes, you should do them here and there. It's fun, you might learn something, but it doesn't feel anywhere near as much of a real life, game scenario, because usually you have your build modes out or you're just building. And yeah, to be honest, don't worry about practicing these edit maps either. So make sure to be practicing the ones I said: piece control, your 1v1 maps. How do I get out of here? Your free building, crucial. And mechanics, I wonder, sorry, what's the difference about mechanics and piece control? You know what, for a map like this actually is helpful to practice your wall replace, phasing, the unique, very important things to learn. So yes, I would think about practicing them, but again, this is not as crucial as the other thing, but it is nice to learn. This actually shows why this is actually a useful thing to practice. But me doing this for 1 second actually reminded me of another tip that you should, or mistake that players make, that you could turn and use it to help yourself to do the opposite of. And that is bad movement. See, let's say this took bad movement. I swing out here to get the shot. You see the X, that means he could have easily shot me. Bad angle, but bad movement at the same time. Instead, what I could do is quickly swing out here, duck down, and be in a more safe position. Window edit, duck down, shoot, duck down again. I know I missed my shot, but yeah, they can maybe get shot off. But if you're quick with your movement, you will be a lot safer. Just swing out here, boom, reset, ducking dead. I don't think that's a good play. But using your movement for better angles is 100% a thing, and you should keep that in mind to get way more kills. Bad movement, slow movement, don't do it. Another mistake players make, this one isn't in the game, but I'm just going to tell you while you watch me free build or do whatever. The mistake is not watching pros or not seeing what the pros are doing. Now, whenever I would hear this mistake, or someone tell me to go watch pros or VOD review them, I would be like, that could take a very long time, and I don't want to do that. But this is like self-promotion, but it's not in the way of, it's not forced. This is actually something you should do, and this helped me a lot. It's helped me improve so much more, and this is helping me just, all the victory cups I used to struggle to qualify for, but since I started doing this, I noticed that actually I'm playing so much better, and it's actually not hard to qualify for the victory cups anymore. So what is it? As I just told you, watching players. But what you can do is, as I said, self-promotion. My channel, I actually VOD review pros and what they do a lot of the time. My most recent video actually is me VOD reviewing the pros that just won the skin, that were able to win the skin cash cup with ease without getting any eliminations. So all you have to do is watch those videos. They're not that long, 10-20 minutes, and you'll learn so much from them. You only have to watch one here and there, and you don't even have to write it down. You watch it, you'll remember a few tips from that video, guaranteed, over time. Now, you should write down stuff if you want to remember faster and quicker, but you don't have to. You watch the video, you'll realize the more videos you watch, the more things that you see a pro do, like the plays or the thinking behind what a play they might do, you'll realize that you will actually start thinking more like them or implement those moves into your games. The final mistake I want to mention that players make is when they're phasing in, they do a few things wrong. And that is... interesting. I didn't know this map was like this. Well, timing. They get timing wrong. 1 second. I'm actually trying to get this right. Oh, this is actually... This is really difficult. I don't know if this is... There we go. So it's all about timing. Once you get it right, you'll be able to get into boxes way more often. With a bit of practice, like, see there, I was getting it wrong, but actually with a bit of practice, I'm doing better now. And you have to use your character's movement also with it. But Take one more time to get me out. There we go. Yeah. Timing. Timing when you're doing phase-ins is important. Trying to get it right. Oh, this is way easier. But anyway. Some players, I'll try and build here. They will, you know, they'll just mess up, they'll destroy it, and it'll be built back. So that is one thing. But there's many elements of phasing that players get wrong. And the other thing is just too predictable. Let's say you're here, you've been shooting for a while, and this has been sitting there for a while. They're holding the build, you can't get it. It's very obvious then that you're going to do this and jump in. And if it's a good player, he's going to predict it, shoot you, and then just win the 50-50 before you can actually, because there's going to be delay when you're jumping in. So he's going to get the first shot off of, and it hits you, and he's just going to win that fight. So you have to be quick or sly about it. You know, let's say you're pressing different builds, you're not getting them. It doesn't look like you're going to phase in. You're pressing cones, you're pressing this. There's a few builds that are weak. Then you have to be, you know, sly, quickly get in, boom, and win the fight. You have to be random. You have to be confusing. Surprise the player. Because if you don't, they're going to predict the jump in, and it's going to be really easy to kill you. Now, another thing about phasing in is there's different types of ways to phase in. I know some of you have tried these tricks before. They can also be predictable. It just depends your speed and where the player is looking. See this one is quite, I don't know if it actually works now because there's no one holding it, but I saw this guy do this against me and it worked, but I predicted it because it was so easy. You see the door, if you know this phase in, you'll predict it, but you might not if, you know, let's say get the wall weak and then suddenly you do click it, boom, and you're in. But to be honest, those fancy they're random, but honestly the most reliable phasing that I see pros do, they don't try any fancy things like that. They keep it simple. They put the player under pressure when he's not expecting it, the walls are weak, and then they just get in when the player maybe is already taking damage and just jump in. Now, unless they think the player is not as good, or if they're really confident with their aim, the pro, or their loot, they won't just jump in without having already done damage. And that's maybe another mistake that you might make, is just jump in when you've done 0 damage. The only time that'll work is when you can catch the player off guard. When, let's say, they're in their box, they're spraying someone, and then while they're distracted spraying on them, you get in, you will get the first off, and then win the fight. So keep all those things in mind about phasing in, because once you do, you'll start winning way more fights, because you actually do win a lot of fights, and the pros do win lots of fights from knowing and understanding phasing in. Right, guys, there are the mistakes that you can learn from and the right things to do instead of. I hope this video helped. Go watch a few VOD reviews. I need some views. No, they would actually really help you. And yeah, you can watch one right here. And thanks for watching and subscribe.